First of all, good morning, Happy New Year. Like I said earlier, our team's extremely excited to be here playing a very good Oklahoma team. We've had a very good week. The hospitality's been great. Our focus of our players during practice has been great, and they're ready to play the game. So I'm looking forward to watching us play and going from there. Questions?
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Gus, Auburn over the decades has built itself into a nationally relevant program, and it's done so in a state with an already established national power like Alabama. Everybody in college football seems to be playing in their shadow. You've only been here a short time, but from your perspective, how's Auburn been able to do that, to rise to the top, 2 national title games, and what have been the factors that have allowed Auburn to become what it's become?
Yeah, first of all, Auburn's a great program. Way before I got there, with a lot of tradition. You know, it's a great school. It's a place that you can recruit the best players in the country. You know, I was a coordinator for 3 years. We, won the national championship in 2010. I've been the head coach for the last 4 years. But I'd just say overall, it's just a great university, and it's a place that you can get the top players in the country to come to, and it's the best conference in college football, in my opinion, to play. So I think it's all of the above.
Coach Malzahn. Justin McNally, WSFA. Your team is finally back to close to 100%. How important is that heading into this game against a high-quality opponent?
Yeah, well, I think you're right. They're definitely a high-quality opponent. They're one of the better teams in all of college football, in my opinion. And, we were a young team starting out. The expectations were extremely low. We were picked either last or next to last, and in our league or in our division. We played a tough schedule early, lost some tough games, and then we got in a stretch about halfway through the season. We were playing very good football. We were kind of growing up. The roles were defined offensively and defensively and individually, from a player standpoint. And then we had a couple tough injuries, and we played a tough schedule going down the end. But we are close to 100%. That's really exciting from a coach's standpoint. You just kind of feel a complete different feel from our players and our coaches ever since the bowl prep started. So really looking forward to watching our team play.
Tom Menino, WVTM 13 in Birmingham. You mentioned at various points throughout the year how much adversity this team has been able to fight through. With that in mind, first of all, how much have they met or maybe even exceeded your expectations in some ways in that regard? And also, do you think it's fitting for them that they should go out with a win in this game?
Well, I mean, definitely from our leadership, I've said this all year, this is one of the top leadership groups I've been a part of, if not the best leadership group. And, there was some extreme adversity early. There's always high expectations at Auburn. We expect to win championships. And when you go through adversity, you find out truly the true character of your team. And our leadership just took over. And, so it would be very fitting for this team to go out with a victory.
In the back.
James Crepia from AL.com. Gus, Robert Leff had spoken about exceeding his own expectations even for this season, and there's been some very favorable analysis to show just how impactful he's been, particularly in run blocking. Can you just speak to Robert Leff's season and how strong a season he ended up having in his final year?
Well, Robert's turned into one of our better offensive players. He's really raised his level. You always talk about, having good teams. They have their seniors play their best, and Robert was definitely one of those guys. We have a lot of confidence in him, not just to run behind him, but he's really turned himself into a very efficient, pass protector, and he'll have a chance to play at the next level.
Down here. Can we get a microphone right here, please?
Myron Patton Fox in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma's strength obviously is their offense, running and throwing. Just talk about the challenge of dealing with that and dealing with Oklahoma's offense.
Yeah, well, I think you just said it. They're very good at running the football. They're very good at throwing the football. The challenge is making them one-dimensional. And, our defense has played well all year. They're going to have to play well again tomorrow night. But it's a huge challenge. The quarterback is, I'm very impressed with him. Obviously, he's an outstanding playmaker. He makes good decisions when things break down. He plays with that edge, and all the big-time quarterbacks have that edge. He has that. And, of course, I'm very impressed with the Westbrook kid. I mean, he's a phenomenal player when he gets the ball, especially in space. And then Mixon, he's one of the best running backs in all of college football, and not just running, but he's such a good receiver. So he presents a lot of different challenges. I think the first two were in New York for the Heisman. I think he could have been there just as well. I think they've got some outstanding players.
Right here.
Dean Blevins, CBS Oklahoma City. Coach, can you talk about your quarterback and how Sean has looked after he's come back healthy, and what we can expect? We haven't seen a whole lot of him.
Yeah. Sean White kind of took over, the reins week 3. Started playing really good football. He was one of the top passing efficiency guys in our league during that stretch before he got hurt. He's practiced every practice that we've had bowl prep, and he's close to 100%, and it gives our guys a lot of confidence. He's capable of throwing the football efficiently, and he's capable of running it when he has to, too.
Right here.
Gus Philip Marshall, Auburn 247 Sports. How you doing this morning? In these days of social media and big salaries and all those things, the criticism that seems to naturally come with that.
Yeah.
How do you as a coach deal with it, and how do your players deal with it?
Are you talking about from a player standpoint, a coach's standpoint?
Both your standpoint and the player standpoint.
Yeah, I think, for me personally, I turn off all my social media, throughout the year. That definitely helps. I always talk to our players about doing the same thing and just staying focused. And I think that's a big challenge in college football these days with the new social media craze and the Twitter and everything that goes with it, and just staying focused. And so, we talk to our players a lot about that, and specifically quarterbacks, high impact players.
Right over here. Coach, you're known for running the ball. That's the mainstay of this offense. But how important is it to implement, more of a passing attack this game against the Oklahoma team that does struggle a little bit against it?
Well, I think anytime you play, the better type opponents, the more balanced you have to be. And we've been our best. We've been capable of throwing the football efficiently. Even if we hadn't thrown it a lot, we were efficient when we did throw it. And so, that's going to be a big key. I mean, we're going to have to throw the ball efficiently tomorrow night to have a chance to win.
He's back in the back.
Gus, after the Iron Bowl, you'd indicated that we could see more of John Franklin III, and I'm just curious, not to ask to give away the game plan here, but with Sean White back healthy, do you still anticipate being able to integrate John more, particularly in the passing game, as you'd said after the Iron Bowl, or with Sean healthy, is that no longer on the table?
Well, afterwards, if you remember, we weren't really for sure about Sean's status, but Sean is healthy, and Sean's our quarterback. John has taken all the number 2 reps, and we feel confident when he gets in there that he'll have a chance to do well. But Sean White's our starting quarterback.
Center of the room back here.
Mark Murphy from Inside the Auburn Tigers. A lot of the ball games, kicking game has been very unusual, a lot of interesting plays. Have you guys spent a lot of time on that in practice?
Yeah, I think so. You look at bowl games, and a lot of times, a lot of these bowl games look real sloppy, and a lot of times it's the special teams. And we've really tried to spend more time in the special teams. Oklahoma's got a very good special teams unit, in each one of their phases. So we've spent a lot of time, and that'll be a big part of the game also.
Center of the room on this side.
Brian M. Marcello, Auburn 24/7 Sports. Gus, what has been the difference between Will Muschamp to Kevin Steele, and how are their approaches led to where you are defensively now and being number 5 in the scoring defensive? Players seem to really, really like Kevin Steele and his personality.
Yeah, well, first of all, you're talking about 2 very good defensive coordinators. Kevin's came in and he's a player's coach. He really developed strong relationships early with our guys. He adapted to them. We didn't really change our terminology. He adapted the terminology that our guys already knew, and I think that made a big impact on our players. And they know that he's in it with them, and they've really played extremely hard. They've been focused. Kevin's a very detailed guy. He doesn't miss anything, and they really responded to him. And we've had a very good year defensively, and we have a chance to even be better in the future. So with his leadership, we're very excited about that.
Any further questions for Coach? Right here.
With the start you guys had of the season, losing a couple games, was there a moment at all where you kind of noticed that they were about to go on that run that you guys went on? I mean, when you're at that point in the season, how do you know you're going to get her to the Sugar Bowl? But
Sure. You know, just looking back, you know, I had said this when we had the tough two losses that were close at home, that I knew we were close as a team. I knew we were capable of being a good team. We just had to do it. Obviously, we played the LSU game, and you know, we challenged everyone, and we found a way to win that game. And after that, then we kind of were able to get on a roll and you know, have a solid season.
Right here in the front.
Gus Carl Prather, WFF TV in Huntsville. Every game is important, but what would this game mean for you to get this victory in your program moving forward, heading into 2017, considering what you have coming back?
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, we're playing the Sugar Bowl, and you know, traditionally, I mean, the Sugar Bowl, in my opinion, is the best bowl in all of college football, and it really means a lot, especially in the SEC. And playing one of the top teams in the country against Oklahoma that presents so many challenges, and to be able to get a victory in this game will be huge. You know, the future is very bright in our program, but obviously, anytime you win a bowl game, you get great momentum, and so it would be very big.
On the side back here.
Yeah, Wes Steiner with AL.com. Last time we asked about Marcus Davis, I know it was kind of iffy as to whether he was going to be able to play in this game. Is there any kind of update there?
Yeah, Marcus Davis, first of all, Stephen Roberts will be our starting punt returner. Marcus has really battled hard to try to get back. He's just not able to do what he needs to do to play on a consistent basis. I'm not saying we may not try to put him in there in a specialized role, but you know, Marcus is one of our leaders. He's been a very solid player for us for 4 years. So, but he tried his best, but it doesn't look very promising right now.